Hola.
Ujú.
No le gusta, pero tampoco me gusta. O sea, me gusta, pero tampoco me gusta.
Para que juegue un tacto más. No déjalo ahí y ya no perdí.
Esto cómo se llama. Ay, lo que sí.
Más dicho que sale. Mira, la mitad huevón. Tú vas un bastazo en la cabeza, ¿eh?
Hola, hola.
To look down from above and take some shots. I don't think it's going to happen though, because you don't want to give away your position. Even early game, if you ask to get shot at by doing so, it's going to cause a problem. I do have a mech here, low light, bouncing around. Yaga might jump in with and continue this rotation. The third player still up on top of the block. Yagami still up there. They have the tornado into the block. They have an opportunity to rotate off of that. You know, it's basically a free launch pad. Nope, pressure time it is. Engaging and pushing forward. Rockets out from the mech. The Brute, 2 trios inside here at the block. It would not surprise me if all 6 of these players, given the chance, just turn and beam this thing into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, generally what you see in the trios format in particular, and even in solos, if there's a mech in play, everyone's like, no, you don't get that advantage.
It needs to go right now.
But right out away, you can see that's 2 different 50 shield tanks going through, and they're getting aggro, even getting close enough to try and get some stomps, and the shotgun damages. Ours gets picked up by that, and that is just a brutal way to go down. And unfortunately, these teams were being engaged by it, and it seems to be, this is one of the times. So mechs in trios, like I know there's a lot of people who are against it. There weren't a ton of times where they were like very overwhelming. This is one of them. This is when you can get them in high ground in the late game and have them be protected. And I'm talking about at the highest level. I'm not saying that, like, yes, people can't run around and it gives you a massive advantage, because we've all been subject to this and it's not fun. With that being said, at the absolute highest level, normally you see the players able to find ways around it. But if you're already engaged in a fight and a Brute ends up walking out, good luck. Like, you're not, what are you going to do? Stop fighting the people who are immediately against you? No, because they're not going to stop fighting. It's basically just, you're stuck with no good choices in that circumstance. Or some of the end game clips, I know Elocrats and Thomas did it in the late game, but they got 2 Brutes up on the high ground where everyone else was just boxed up and had to worry about transition, and then they pulled zone. And it's just like, you don't play against that. Good luck.
4 eliminations. Low light, Gaga, Yagami now technically have both the island and the block. They pushed the remaining player. I believe just one made it away on rotation out to the southwest there. So they essentially picked up 2 solid POIs with 1 mech, just because, especially this block, you had all 6 players were based inside that structure in the middle. So a lot of the line of sight to take shots at this mech, it was already blocked, which gave them the chance to just push in, start stomping, dropping shotgun shots and the rockets out as often as they can. I was on a big swing. These guys are already in a great spot.
Yep, and now you get the rotational tool as well. They didn't even lose a ton of damage on the mechs, and it's kind of one of those things where you talk about the inherent weaknesses of it. While there are some, were effectively covered in this engagement. There was absolutely no way the Brute was not walking away from that successful, simply because the few opportunities that would have been there, the only way they could have possibly maybe have gotten out of it is if one of those people had decided or landed on a boogie bomb.
Exactly.
So it's like that is your only chance in that circumstance. Otherwise, you're just out, and effectively, you're out, you're gone, 4 over. And the block, the reason why it's so contested, there is always a very dense amount of ammunition loot, and materials. You will always be able to get maxed out 1,500 per player, and you'll be leaving there with enough ammunition to where you aren't going to be scared to harass people in the mid game, which in competitive trios is huge. Which is